Train just passed by. Peace, God. Peace, Goddess. Peace and blessings from the Most High God. Ashe. So, I've been working with the crown chakra, but what I realized is each chakra is connected with the chakra above it and below it. Like the third eye chakra is connected with the throat chakra and the crown chakra. The crown chakra is connected with the crown chakra is connected with the third eye chakra and the soul star. And so not only just they're all connected, but not only just that, they're directly connected with the chakra above and below them as a circuit. And they're also as above, so below. So the crown chakra is also connected with the root chakra. And it's a funny distinction. Attachment and rooting, or connection and rooting. See, it's funny. And life will be uprooted if you're used to moving. Constantly changing schools, changing homes, drifting. You'll be constantly uprooted. And some people, like, they have a hard time transitioning if you're attached to your environment. I want to finish high school, or I want to graduate here, or all of my friends here at least want to finish the grade or the semester or the year. Or like all my friends are in the neighborhood. Like, I don't want to leave this neighborhood. This is the best neighborhood. It's even a nice neighborhood. You can have all these attachments. Even got childhood memories in the home. Attached to certain outcomes, like you thought you would have more time to spend with people, or more time in those environments. Even a way of doing things, because when you leave, you'll have new routines. So you can be rooted, but you can be uprooted. The thing about uprooting is a lot of times when people work with, like, the earth chakra is dealing with, or the root chakra is dealing with earth, the color red. And so a lot of times, if you were to uproot a plant, you would damage it. In most cases, just because the roots, after a certain time, they would expand. And so if you damage the root system, you would also damage as above, so below. So you would also damage maybe possibly a limb or a bud or a half, or a complete stalk or stem or a branch. It will affect the whole plant. A lot of times when you uproot, you'll damage because of the attachment to the plant's environment. But sometimes more experienced gardeners or farmers, they're able to uproot a plant without damaging it at all. However, like, when it goes into a new environment, it has to adjust, and so it have negative experiences due to, like, difference in the sun, the angle of the light, the time that the light reaches it, the air quality, the soil quality. All of these things change the plant's consciousness and health. And so attachment and root are very similar, but there's a distinction, as well as connection. And so when you're connected to something, you're always connected to it. Your phone, you might have your phone turned on. And so when you leave the house, your Wi-Fi, you may be connected to Wi-Fi, you may be able to leave the house and then it switches to data, but you stay connected to the internet. If you're attached to the internet, you may not be able to leave that source without being connected. You may be able to, like, it may be detached. Or if you were to connect like a plug to an outlet, you wouldn't be able to damage you wouldn't be able to disconnect the plug from the TV without damaging it. And so this is important. A lot of times, like in relationships, when people separate, they're attached. And so all of that pain comes from the detach. And even when you're attached to certain outcomes, you experience disappointment. When you're attached to certain expectations, you experience disappointment. A lot of problems in our life, like, we create them, even if we're not even aware of them, or how to solve them, or that they exist. And so the root chakra is essential. Like, I see, like, in the Avatar, like in the show the Avatar, like, he Aang has a hard time disconnecting from Katara. And in the fourth chakra, in the heart chakra, he uses that as love. Like, he uses Katara as all the family that he lost, all the, like, the loved ones, his tribe. That love was reborn. Like, it came in a new form. He found that through Katara. But in the seventh chakra, he was attached to Katara, and so he had to detach, but he couldn't. And so he wasn't able to master the crown chakra and go into the avatar state at will, as well as elevating to the soul star and the earth star. And so there's more than the 7 and there's more than the 9. Every point at which we control, like even the fingers and the joints, have chakra points. And so you may see this, like, if you watch Naruto, but he wasn't able to detach. And I'm understanding, like, the higher that you go in dimensions and chakras, when you're unlocking them, doing shadow work and unblocking them, you also have to go lower. It's this quote that says, it's 2 quotes that are significant. For a tree to reach, a Chinese proverb, for a tree's branches and leaves to reach heaven, its roots must reach hell. As above, so below. As it grows above the earth, it also grows below at the same pace. And so this is like a mind expanding beyond dimensions. The older you get, the more, like, you expand, like, with how you feel and how you think. The more your heart gets broken, the more, once you heal, the more capacity you have for love. The more your mind gets distorted, or you have new experiences, or there's an increase in knowledge, the more it expands, and it can't return to smaller states or previous states of not knowing or ignorance. And so the root chakra, like, what I've been learning is, I don't only just have to detach from, like, my conceptualization of life, my religion, my name, my family, my home, my way of life, my past, my ego, my emotions, my thoughts, like, all these things I have to detach from, because they're what I'm rooted in. And so when you quantum leap, you can't, like, it's like you have multiple, like, when I started doing tarot, I realized, like, you have multiple opportunities throughout the day. You really, like, some people just their minds are so closed. Or you may be in a state to where your mind is closed, your heart is closed, your throat chakra, like, all these dimensions within you are closed. Another quote I want to say was, the kingdom of heaven is within you, in the Bible. And so in the crown chakra, I've been realizing that if the kingdom is within, that's the true conquering, like that ascension. And I'm almost 34. I'll be 34 next month. I'm 33 this right now. And so I've been thinking about the death and resurrection in the crown, and that's currently what I'm working through. And so in the crown chakra, it has to do with connection. So attachment sometimes even blocks connection. Well, it does block connection. It blocks the chakra, but it's like all the principles below a chakra are applied with the chakra above, and this is why it's so hard, like advancing. So like if you're attached, like say you're attached to a person's past, you're attached to their preconceived notions, to how they felt and thought yesterday, to you're attached to what you want them to be. This will block your connection with them because everything changes. And so that attachment is a stagnation when you're attached, because everything is in motion. You'll see birds. You'll see birds. And if you notice, they're flying in sync in circles. They're connected, but in the 3D realm, they're not attached. And so they're flying solo, but all in a similar pattern because they're connected. And so in the root chakra, what I realized what's really been blocking me is my conceptualization of life and my understanding of life. I know in the Bible it says lean not on your own understanding. And so it's like being rooted in that. The root chakra is important because you can't reach the higher chakras without the ones below. It's a complete circuit. And so this is the foundation of your heart aligned in your chakra system. And so it's who you are. It's I am. And so you have to know that I am everything and I am nothing. You could be a firefighter, like I am a firefighter, but maybe you retired. And so now I am an ex-firefighter. When you quantum leap and you go through a portal, you become something that you're currently not. That's what the quantum leap is. People who have mastered this ability to be fluid and transform and die and be reborn, they've mastered this. They're able to do this to quantum leap, like in the movie you see Jumper. They're able to make these manifestations and make this life change. So, and you're like, wow, you know, they're already in that new state. They already have that new job. They already have that new partner, that new home, that car, that everything that they said within a matter of like a year or 6 months. And you're just like, wow, it was literally a quantum leap, because they're able to see it. And when they see it, they're help the self-work. I'm already involved in the tangle of their lives.